Foxes family, stop everything. What I'm about to tell you could change the future of Leicester City. Today we have three massive stories. Rumors that Leicester City could go bust, Wolves targeting a brilliant Leicester player in the summer, and Leicester closing in on hiring a new manager who has already been sacked by a championship rival. And trust me, the last one is the most important of all. This is explosive, this is urgent, this is season-defining. Stay right here until the very end, because you do not want to miss what's coming. And if you love Leicester City, hit subscribe right now and join the Foxes family for daily updates, breaking news, and honest opinion. Look, let's cut through the noise and talk straight, Fox. There's a lot of chatter flying around right now about Leicester City going bust, about administration, about the club being on the brink. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, because you deserve honesty. But I'm also not buying into panic headlines written by people who don't understand the soul of the Foxes. Yes, Leicester have had their run-ins with the authorities over profit and sustainability rules. But breaking PSR doesn't automatically mean a club is skint. It means spending has outpaced football income. There's a big difference. Owners can, in theory, bridge that gap. And for years, King Power did exactly that. Let's not forget where we came from. That miracle title in 2016 wasn't built on Galactic. It was built on bargains. Jamie Vardy for peanuts, Riyad Mahrez for loose change, N'Golo Kante for what feels like the price of a decent family car. Smart recruitment, hungry players, a proper football story. But after that fairy tale, Leicester tried to live at the big boys table, chasing the so-called elite. Bigger transfer fees, bigger contracts, bigger ambitions. By the early 2020s, wages alone were costing more than the club was earning. Over 100% of revenue. That's not sustainable for anyone outside the so-called super club. Then came the shiny new toys, a world-class training ground at Seagrave, 14 full-size pitches, hotel, golf course, incredible facility, massive pride, also massively expensive to run every single year. All of this was manageable while Leicester stayed in the Premier League. Relegation in 2023 ripped a huge hole in revenue. One brief season back up simply wasn't enough to patch it. And here's where the real fear creeps in. There are serious whispers that King Power themselves are not in the financial shape they once were. Their business was built heavily on duty-free sales and international tourism. COVID smashed that model to pieces, and according to respected football finance voices, the company had to be restructured, with changes at the very top. That's alarming, because Leicester's safety net has always been King Power. The club has already started cutting costs. High earners gone, no big spending, tight transfer windows. You can see it with your own eyes. The problem? Leicester still carry championship-level wages that are enormous. Add the Seagrave running costs, add the women's team, add academy operations. It all stacks up quickly. Administration is not inevitable, but it cannot be ruled out if further cuts aren't made. And here's the nightmare scenario nobody wants to even say out loud. League One. Drop again, revenue drops again, value drops again, and suddenly, Leicester becomes harder to sell, harder to rescue, and far more dangerous financially. Some even believe the authorities handed Leicester a lighter points deduction simply to give the club a fighting chance of survival. That tells you how serious this is. These are grim days, no hiding from it. The next few weeks could define the next decade of Leicester City. But let me say this clearly. Leicester City is bigger than owners. Leicester City is bigger than balance sheet. Leicester City is bigger than bad decisions. The Foxes have risen from nothing before. We've been counted out before. And every time, we've found a way to bite back. Now here's the question I want you to answer, Fox. If King Power are no longer able to fund Leicester properly, should they sell the club immediately, even if it means a risky new owner? Or should they stay and try to fight this out? Pick a side. And don't sit on the fence. Hit like, hit that subscribe button if you're passionate about Leicester and want to stay up to date. Wolverhampton Wanderers should be looking closely at the Leicester City squad this summer, with one Foxes star in particular standing out as an ideal target for a major rebuild. With the summer transfer window fast approaching, Wolves face one of the most important recruitment periods in recent memory. The Midlands club appear to be drifting towards relegation from the Premier League, and if the worst does happen, the club must ensure they assemble a squad capable of bouncing straight back from the EFL Championship. Recruitment will be absolutely critical. Wolves cannot afford to gamble on unproven players or short-term fixes. Instead, they need footballers with proven quality, experience in English football, and the mentality required for a promotion fight. This is where Leicester City come into the conversation. Leicester City possess several players who would immediately improve Wolves' squad, and one brilliant Foxes performer in particular fits the profile perfectly. Proven at Premier League level, technically secure, and capable of influencing games in tight situations, he could become a cornerstone of Wolves' rebuild. The urgency is clear. Under Rob Edwards, Wolves have won just once in the league all season. They currently sit bottom of the table, inside the relegation zone, alongside Burnley and West Ham United. There has at least been a small boost in cup competition. Wolves remain alive in the FA Cup after a hard-fought 1-0 victory away at Grimsby Town at Blundell Park, booking a place in the 5th round. However, cup progress cannot disguise the scale of the league crisis. If Wolves are relegated, smart business will define whether they suffer a long stay in the championship or mount an immediate promotion push. Targeting proven Leicester City talent, especially players entering their prime years, would represent a statement of intent. For Wolves, this summer is not just about strengthening. It is about survival, identity, and building a squad with the hunger to fight their way back to where the club believes it belongs. Hit like, hit that subscribe button if you're passionate about Leicester and want to stay up to. So here we are again, Fox. Another chapter in what has been a chaotic, painful, and frankly unbelievable season for the Foxes. Talks are now taking place with Gary Rowett about becoming the next man to take charge at Leicester City. And according to inside sources, the squad is already bracing itself for his arrival at the King Power. Let that sink in for a moment. After the sacking of Martí Cifuentes at the end of January, Leicester have been drifting without direction. Then came the brutal 6-point deduction. Then came the drop into the championship relegation zone. And suddenly, a club that lifted the Premier League trophy not so long ago is staring straight into the abyss, with League One no longer a distant nightmare, but a genuine threat. Gary Rowett is the man being lined up to stop the bleeding, and there is a storybook element to this. Rowett is one of our own. 57 appearances for Leicester between 2000 and 2002. He knows the badge. He knows what this club means. He knows what it feels like to walk out in front of Foxes supporters. That counts for something. It really does. But let's not sugarcoat reality. Rowett is currently a free agent after being sacked by Oxford United in December, with Oxford sitting 21st in the championship at the. Yes, he did a solid job keeping them in the division last season, and credit where it's due. That achievement matters, but this job at Leicester is a completely different beast. This is not about mid-table. This is about dragging a giant of English football away from humiliating. Since Cifuentes was shown the door, Andy King has stepped in as interim boss, a club legend, a true Fox, a man who bleeds blue. But the results have been brutal. 4 games, 4 defeats, 3 straight league losses, and an FA Cup exit to top it off. The feel-good factor simply never arrived. Rowett is now in negotiations over a short-term deal until the end of the campaign. A firefighter's contract. Come in, stabilize, survive. Keep Leicester in the championship. Anything less would be catastrophic. And here's the part that really gets me, Fox. Rowett recently said he expected Leicester to make an ambitious appointment. He spoke about the size of the club, the training ground, the infrastructure, and how managers will look at this job and think, I can get them out of trouble. Well, Gary, now it's your turn because this is not Oxford. This is not a quiet. This is a fallen heavyweight with angry supporters, broken confidence, and a squad that looks scared of its own shadow. If Rowett walks through that door, he must bring authority, clarity, and a ruthless edge. No more passengers, no more soft goals, no more tactical confusion. This club needs structure, organization, and belief. Fast! And one last thing. If Nottingham Forest fans are enjoying this mess, they might want to remember how quickly football turned. We've climbed mountains before. We know how to fight, and we are not finished yet. So Fox, here's the big question I want you to answer in the comments. Is Gary Rowett truly the right man to save Leicester City from the most embarrassing relegation in the club's modern history? Or is this another desperate gamble that screams lack of ambition from the board? Hit that subscribe button if you're passionate about Leicester and want to stay up to